Hello, beautiful stars. Welcome to Stars of the Morning Light. And this is an episode of Matrix Living. We have a very special guest for you. Those who have been with me for the past few years, I always mention my teacher. And before you is my teacher, Master Lady Kira Raa. Beloveds, please utilize the links that are in the description below to her YouTube channel, I Am Kira As You Are, to her website. And I do want to give a special shout out to books, as I'm always recommending books that I believe you all should read. A Sacred Union, Journey Home, and Ascension Renaissance. Beloveds, please, please read that. So I am delighted to have Master Lady Kira here for us tonight. And of course, we will be talking The Matrix. So, Kira, thank you for being here with us.
It's my honor, you know that, and thank you for the invitation.
Yes, this is lovely. So, every guest here with the Matrix Living episodes, I ask, do you have a personal experience, an instant, a moment that opened your eyes to this matrix concept that we're living in?
First of all, that makes me want to invite all of us to take a breath.
Yeah,
The answer is
right.
yes, but let's just take in a nice, deep, nourishing breath on that one and really allow ourselves to receive.
Mhm.
The answer to that question is simple yet not easy in the fact that you begin with sitting in your crib at 2 years old watching animals float and then watching them stop the minute your mother opens the door and you're aware of that interface.
Mm.
Then you fast forward to 29 years old at the peak of my density career. It's Christmas Eve day, 1989, and this is when it really hit me. I was an executive, I was a CEO, running around the world 28 days a month, get off a plane, collapse, wake up in a hospital, told I have cancer, I need immediate surgery, and that my chances were not that great. I was 29 years old.
Mm.
And it was that near death experience that anchored into me through the moment of my field of experience, which was beyond the experience of anyone else that I had known in that moment, because no one was talking about near death experience in 1989. And during my NDE, when I was conscious, I was aware that I was floating on a beautiful lotus. And
Mm.
then I was aware that there were, and it's right here why these wings are right here. So it was
Mhm.
right here. There were two beautiful, beautiful, beautiful crystalline fields of light that were reaching out. And I looked to my left, I looked to my right, and suddenly realized I was in a field of infinity. And that
Mhm.
every single one of us was connected through the stream of crystalline light at our heart. And I was aware that this lotus was suddenly spinning, and that in front of me was what would be the ultimate Shiva linga, that Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. It was everything. It was that no beginning, no end, spiraling energy of pure light,
Mm.
and I was right there in front of it. And the next thing I knew, I was there was no me. There was just a dissolution into this field of consciousness where it was every image you could ever conjure of the divine in any way beyond just a
Mhm.
man or a woman and it was in that moment that for me the matrix melded into
Mm.
an ever connected oneness. And when I came back out of that field and shortly before I re-entered my body, I was aware that you're never ever going to mess this up. You're never ever going to do it wrong. We are infinitely, infinitely one. That my eyes are your eyes.
Mhm.
And that all I saw was that there's times when you're just way further out in that field, navigating it in a much broader space. And then I was also watching those that were coming face to face with the Godhead and said, no, not now, and started more cycles. And I pray one day that an animator will
Okay.
help me bring this to the world. And so that was for me the kahuna moment. And so it was my near
Yes.
death experience in 1989 that really brought that home.
And that shifted your world. I, when did you start doing all the teaching that you're doing? Because I, beloveds that are listening, thank you, Stars, for settling in. Please go to her website because you also have Navigating the
The
Matrix,
inner
right?
matrix.
Yes, the inner matrix. So it's like we have the inner, the outer, all are one, right? So from that moment, I can only imagine that nothing was as it was, that things had to have shifted greatly because one of the reasons why I started these episodes was to have these questions because we're entering a time where that is going to be happening for more than just the selective few, right?
Yes.
So how was that shift for you?
Well, do you feel my heart?
Yeah, I do
Right.
actually. And I'm like, oh, I feel it.
You feel it, right? And that's part of it. It's like that was that Lotus experience, right? What
Mm,
happened though, and I would sense a lot of the people listening have had this experience. I was 29 years old. Courtney, it was 1989. Nobody was
right.
talking about this. For the first 3 months, I didn't know what was happening. And then it was on. I went to see my surgeon, who was a very young surgeon. I think this was part of his life learning.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting in his desk, and in those days, you had a big paper file, right? You
Hmm.
had your files, right? And I'm sitting across the desk, and I looked at him. I said, I died, didn't I? And you want to see somebody go pale. And I will
Right.
never forget this, Courtney. I wish I had, here's my tissue box. We will simulate. So
Yeah.
right, he took the file, threw it across the desk at me, and said, I don't want to know how you know. And that, because they don't tell you, you don't wake up and they go, hey, you died. They don't tell you, they didn't then. And so I had been dead for 4 minutes. They were writing my death certificate and calling it at the time of my reanimation. They had absolutely no explanation for why I came back. And it was, for me, Courtney, a 10-year journey that culminated when I met Sri Lanka. So
Yes.
from 1989 to 1999, here was the God's honest truth without going into all the details, which were extraordinary. I went from being a highly successful CEO to bankruptcy to working in the back of a metaphysical store, suddenly having a 6 month wait because I was that stubborn. Because nobody was, and it was Danny and Brinkley who wound up becoming a dear friend of mine, and Danny and I were on tour together many years ago. That He was the one that really, saved by the light. Danny and Brinkley, he and I became good friends through
Wow.
it. And he was the one that inspired me to talk about, accept, and really understand what happened to me. So when it comes, and now I want to just accent something you just said that really matters about more people. Now there's near death conferences, and they're starting to be attended by tons of people, and people are having more and more experiences, and this is happening because the matrix is revealing itself, as you know. And
Hmm.
so it's how we navigate it that is becoming such a blessing.
Yeah, I thank you for sharing because I there's actually like you picked up on there's viewers here that also had experiences probably actually around the
Yes,
same time.
yes.
And they are becoming even more comfortable with expressing it and what happened with them and what the awareness that came through with those experiences. And yes, 1989, such a different time frame than now.
It's
And
like, right.
yes,
I'm
and
old, girlfriend, but
you
but
were
I am not.
exactly right. Um, and the time that we're living in, how would you kind of describe what's going on with this quote unquote matrix? Um, because even so, Kira, I'm a 81 baby. So I'm in that mature experience stage of life going, whoa. The Matrix. I'm ready. I'm
Yeah, you
ready.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm wanting to invite everyone into more of a discussion, understanding of what is this? Because we can all feel it. I'm talking to just everybody out there, and so many people are talking about the feeling the acceleration, feeling this, seeing that, witnessing that, more acceptance of themselves. So, can you, in your delightful way, help us, right?
So first of all, smile,
Yeah.
right? That's the first gift. The first gift is because when we smile, we send a signal. And that signal is sent first to our body that says, okay,
Mm,
hey, you can relax. I am here, right? The eternal me that is able to walk just a little bit outside of the me, right?
mm,
Relax on that ego just enough to be able to really see the smile of the journey itself.
yes.
Now, I want to put a little like caveat here, right? Because people often love to take that and run wild with it. And here's the key. To have that joy for the journey itself doesn't mean people are getting get out of jail free cards.
Right.
And that's why people are so afraid to do that. They're like, but, no, 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 no. If you are truly able to have the value to see yourself at that distance from the ego. And this
Hmm.
is what I call, this is what many people refer to as the fifth dimension. This is what a lot of people I refer to it as becoming the witnesser,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Right. And being able to look at yourself. And that's why the smiling matters because the physical energy of a smile, what it does for us, sends a signal to the body to relax. Everything's going to be okay. There's somebody here who's in charge and they seem to know what they're doing. Right.
Yes, I refer to that oftentimes here as the observer.
Exactly.
Yes, I even invite people to purposely, consciously choose to practice that at random times. You're walking in the store, go into that observer mode because that is where we truly can start practicing more of compassion for self and others, which to me is the fifth dimension, right? To start laying down the judgment, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
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 and but it begins with self. How
yes,
can we ever honestly let go of the judgment of others if we are still judging ourselves? Right? That's like
exactly.
paradox number one,
Exactly. I've
right?
been having conversations lately about authenticity, being our authentic self, and how much that helps ourselves, but also helps others. And that is a key component to what is happening with the Matrix right now. Could you speak about that for a moment?
Well, thank you for asking, and I love that you do that. Yay. You held up a book earlier, Sacred Union, The Journey Home,
Yeah.
and what it says right underneath that is, authenticity, right? It's the path of
Yes.
self-ascension is all about authenticity. And when that book first came out, it was finished on New Year's Eve, 2002. Shri and I had known each other 3.5 months. From
Oh,
hello, how are you online to that book in my hands, original copy in the museum here at 12 Hummingbirds with pictures of Shri and I that night. And then we were
oh my
married 3 days
goodness.
later. Yep. And then we were married 3 days later. And so when we came together, it was a collision course of authenticity. And that was one of the biggest things that we wrote about in that book. And from
Yes.
that book, that Shri and I then had to live the the inner matrix journey, which took us 9 months to do, which was based upon unlocking the codes that are in that book that
Yes.
became the navigating the inner matrix program that has sustained, I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands of people over the past 20 years. That
Yes.
because it was a preparation for this moment, which is why that program has sustained the test of time.
Yes. I was introduced to you via YouTube, you and Shri.
Thank you.
Oh, Shri.
I
And
know.
Yeah, I think around 2016. And I had never even really been on YouTube or paid attention to the YouTube thing. And I was going through a massive shift. A lost my job for the first time, was going back to my roots and how I was raised with different spirituality. I mean, I had no idea what was going on in my world. And my husband, as he would leave for work, he said, well, just search out stuff on YouTube about ascension, Courtney, because we're going through an ascension. That's my husband. So when he was gone, he would text me, "Did you look anything up on YouTube?" No, but I'll do it. And then all of a sudden, there's you two, you and Shri. And I will say my first thought was, oh goodness, what are these hippies going to say? That
I
was the
know.
first thought, right?
I was
And
born in 1960, forgive me.
right. God bless you, right? And then I listened and it just washed over me. I understood what you were saying, what was going on, and you helped me so greatly, both of you. And I even have students of my own, and this is a testament for you that I guess met you at the same time on YouTube, but at the time they weren't there yet. They
Mhm.
weren't there yet. And then working with me for a few years and doing the soul restorations that I'm able to facilitate because of you, they now get every word that comes out of your mouth. So even if we're not fully understanding just yet, that does not mean it's a never. And so between you and Shri, you saved me through many of things and learning how to navigate all of this. And these books are precious. They're just precious to us.
Thank you.
So as the viewers are listening, everyone, please, yes, utilize the links in the description because it has been hundreds, thousands of people that are learning to navigate, walking more in their authenticity, which is sustaining so much. So I can only imagine the journey, and you read about it in these books. The time period that we're in now, because you've been doing this for 22 years, helping us to enter into this new era, this new time frame, this new what is going on? Because
Right?
a lot of people are scared. A
I
lot of
know.
people are scared. And I can only stand in myself and be a light, be a torch, right? Be a pillar, be a torch
Yes.
for others. So can you speak some on what you believe is happening currently, this 2025 into 2026 time frame?
So the first thing I would say is let's take another breath.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and I'm really enjoying and honoring the time. Yeah, really relax, relax the breath, relax the
yeah,
breath, relax the
yeah.
breath. Okay. We are right now, and I started talking about this actually at YouTube. I have a small episode out that already has 2026 energies. And the reason being is because I mentioned earlier about that interface, when I was two in my crib and being able to command that and remembering that. That's an interface moment. And now
Yeah.
here we are, we're all here together. And in that, what's happening is that we are emerging through these three stages of consciousness. And as we emerge through that, what's coming forward in 2026, and the only way I can describe it is that it's the journey of alchemizing darkness back into our true essence. And so, what does that mean? It means that we're at an alchemical shift and the new era has already
Mm,
begun. And this new era is spinning with geometries that are reminding everyone of the inherent true essence within authenticity. To remember that
yes.
we are creation ever creating, the living essence of informed awareness that cycles throughout infinite experience and choice. That's the overview of 2026.
Yes.
I'm trying not to use my hands too much. And,
Yeah,
but I get excited.
so do I. And I
I know.
personally, I kept saying that 2025 was one of the biggest transition years I've ever witnessed, I've ever seen coming and experiencing myself.
Yes.
And I do believe, as you have been speaking so much on your channel, I am Kira as you are, that you've been speaking a lot about trust. And I do believe that 2025, for those who might have not have offered themselves the opportunity to truly build trust within themselves and others and the divine, 2025 was there to help entice that, cultivate that. For me personally, I had done that in 2015 and I was at complete trust, but I will tell you, we're we're not really sure exactly where we stand with it unless it's challenged. And 2025 continuously was this challenge of, are you sure you have complete trust, Courtney? Are you sure you have complete trust? And every time, yes, I do. Yes, I do. So that makes sense to me because we have to have the trust to really utilize that alchemical transition action that you're saying of the darkness into the light.
Yeah. The Tria Prima itself. One of the things here, you probably already know this. Let me just, you know what this is, right? Right.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, it's my hair getting caught. I have a lot of hair. So, right, this is our prayer wheel. Well, you see, it
Yes.
can go fast, it can go slow, it can do a lot of things. But if this is our conscious awareness, then right now what's happening is that how fast are we spinning into this new era? And the tria prima itself, mercury, sulfur, salt, those elements themselves are spinning into a new way of being. Our intersection
Mm.
with technology, the way that we are being forced to immediately make those choices, there is that essence of urgency, and yet there's the wisdom of the knowing. That's trust.
Yes. Yes, you just thank you. Yes. I also um wanted to speak briefly about, for me personally,
Please.
love, trust, and creation are all in one. It's a beautiful trinity. And so those who are working within the building of the trust right now, I have also been noticing they are having sweeping moments of creativity come through. And I believe you have spoken about that as well, that even though this matrix might be shifting, crumbling, changing with the alchemical within us and around, that creation, that is us, that trinity of love, trust, and creation. How can we utilize that? Or can you just speak upon that for a moment?
Well, I first just want to, I'm seeing it, as you're sharing it,
Yeah.
your words and your clarity. It's like, ooh, I'm seeing this beauty. It's like a pretty little light pyramid floating out there
I
going,
love
hello. So I wanted
that.
to honor that.
Hopefully that's my energy, a light pyramid wherever I go. That's what I
It is, and it's right, and it's just gorgeous. And I just wanted to acknowledge that because that's the frequency, that's the radiation. That's why when I was in Latvia and Lithuania earlier this year, and I was there during some interesting moments with the war that's going on over in Eastern Europe. And
Mhm.
and while I was in Lithuania, I found this beautiful. Can you see that? That
Yes.
is okay, right there. That is a mustard seed covered in 18 karat gold.
Oh, sorry. That oh.
And I wear it for everything you just said,
Yes.
because what it's about is remembering that that's a mustard seed.
Yes.
Right? And I put it on every day, remembering that that's really everything, isn't it? That
It's
that
all
the
it
answers are
takes.
exactly. and that it's all within, but it's about
Yeah.
unlocking that. That's the yoga of self-ascension. That's what I've had
Mhm.
the honor of living, is that when we remember that it's that we are the seed, it's
Mhm.
all here. And when we remember, and as you so beautifully just shared, trust and love are the two sides of the same coin.
Mhm.
Together, the creation bursts. That's
Yes.
how it is. And so my response to your beautiful sharing is that what is most important in this moment is to remember that when people are afraid, they will give away their power. And when people are terrified, they will give away their soul. And so knowing that that is just what it is in this field of potentiality where we chose to grow through fear, the
Mhm.
gift is that we know it. The gift is that we're aware, it's conscious awareness. And so we alert the smile that does not focus on the problem. We alert the smile that is grateful that we found our awareness through it. Thereby, we are able to hold that energy as the matrix crumbles more. And there are those that are looking up, there are more hands that are right there.
There.
And
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. I've been holding a lot for a long time, and I'm really
Yes.
excited to have more people helping
Yes.
because it's how we do it. It's that field I saw during my near-death experience. In many
Yes.
ways, wouldn't that be the ultimate matrix? Here we are, heart to heart to heart to heart, floating on these lotuses, spinning around this Godhead. Wow, having a great time. You know,
That's
okay.
actually that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to be able to witness the oneness as well. And
Yeah.
I believe that once you see it, once you know, you kind of can't go back. It's there. And that's how I see it. Even regardless of what plane, what potentiality, what, multiverse, what have you, it's always present. And that is the connection, that is the creation, that is the ever-flowing energy of love for me, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that love is the link through all those threads that you're speaking of. And I anticipate in joy and hope and peace and love, all of it. I believe more are going to be witnessing that as well.
I believe you are right.
Yeah, we're at such a fascinating time to be living in. And we chose it.
Yes.
You tend to talk about how we choose it. Can you
Yes.
elaborate on that? Because I agree, but I would love for the audience to hear your words instead of mine.
Oh, how kind of you. Well, thank you, sweetheart. So sacred sequence of incarnation. And
Mm,
I actually talk about that on expanding consciousness over at the channel. But here's the key. Imagine you're a comet, right? So and we are. We are these infinite beings, floating on lotuses or not, but we are. It's such a beautiful gift to know that, right? Edgar Cayce, everyone has talked about it. So
yes.
if we play along for a moment and say, okay, in the knowing of that, you're in this infinite expansion and suddenly this energy wells up inside of you and wants to take form and feel, and how do you keep expanding, how do you do more with love? And
Mhm.
suddenly in the sacred sequence of incarnation, the first thing that happens is your frequency begins vibrating with the field of potentiality that would call you into a formed awareness that would accomplish that experience. So the first thing you do as you're coming into this sacred sequence of incarnation is you're actually picking the form, which in this case is this planet. And
Mhm.
so you've come into this field of potentiality in this planet. Well, then the second thing that you're picking is the date, because the way that we do our time sequencing here demarcates this potentiality into this specific teeny tiny seed sliced sand of an
Yeah.
infinite sea. And then the final thing is, so here you're coming in, you're coming in, you're coming in. And then the final thing is your birth name, no matter what you change it to,
Yes.
because that's the first moment where you have a divine connection with the receptive ones that are ready to receive you for the mission that you have called forward, which is why not only do we choose our parents, we choose this time, our skin color, our body style, the way we're raised. so that
Yeah.
everything brings us that moment. Sacred sequence of incarnation.
I fully agree. And the audience here can relate as well because we do cover a lot of Edgar Casey and how he explained a lot of that. Um, with that being said, um, I believe then when more people can maybe accept that, takes awareness and acceptance to then step into their own authenticity, their own power, their own standing to maybe walk out of that fear into the love that you speak so much about.
Right, right.
And
That's when we,
it's some, go ahead.
no, forgive me. I was just so moved by what you were sharing because what you're modeling right now is the preface to that ultimate step. It's where that smile takes you
Yeah.
into the sincerity, love, and presence of the
Yes.
self inquiry of what in me invited this to be.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
right. It's the moment we release victim consciousness. It's the moment we say goodbye to fear. It's the moment we say goodbye to guilt. It's the moment we say goodbye to shame. It's the moment we say goodbye to all of the things that keep us trapped because we realize, okay, what in me invited this to be, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
And then you're free to really be.
Yes. Yes. Then you are free to really be and go, oh, thank you, me.
Yeah, I'm not a victim. I am not a victim,
Right.
thereby I don't need an abuser and I don't need a rescuer because I'm free to be.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot with your most recent videos, the expanding consciousness, which kudos to you, Kira. They are very delightful and welcoming to all. It's
Thank you.
lovely to witness.
Thank
And I
you.
have many people in my circle that I've exposed you to that are saying they're also pleasant to watch for them as well, and they really are
Thank
enjoying
you.
it.
Thank you.
Um, with that, the three stages of awareness in life.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to the other day and I thought of that because I am in that adult experience stage.
Yes, you are.
And yes, and I'm thinking, okay, so then I started thinking about other people I know and where everybody is, and I was thinking about my mother. And you all have gone through similar things recently. And so I keep thinking about all this stuff of the stages that we're at and how that those interlinking energies
Yeah.
are here right now based out of our choice and in those time frames, right, of
Right.
awareness, experience, choice for the betterment. And for me first, it's the earth. I know I came for her. She's amazing. Right? Um, but also to really start cultivating this concept of humanity as one.
Yes.
So, if there's any words of support for those out there, because what an interesting duality everyone is witnessing, right? Regardless if for me, I see the duality, but I don't experience it. I don't choose to experience that way as far in my life now, but I know that's not the same for others. I know it's not. So, how can we navigate ourselves through the love and acceptance and authenticity of oneself within what seems to be the pressure of duality that I'm sure you understood that.
I felt it as well
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the way you're offering it is very very tangibly received,
yes,
absolutely, in all
yes,
levels. And so that's why I have my hands on my heart,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's really the simplest, quickest, easiest way for all of that, right? That's part of what we're interfacing right now. We're in these
yes,
intersecting cycles, but for all of that, here it is, and
yeah,
it takes a second of conscious awareness, hands to heart. You take in a deep Ave saw breath, going in on the Ave through the nose, exhaling, and then you let the head bow, and in 1 second, say out loud or say to yourself, In this moment, I trust myself. And then say it again. In this
In this moment,
moment, I
I
trust
trust
myself.
myself.
One more time.
In
In
this
this
moment,
moment,
I trust
trust
myself.
myself. Deep breath
Ah,
with a
yeah.
smile.
Yes. 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 It can be that
Exactly.
simple.
Yes, yes,
It can
yes.
be that simple.
It
It
was
can
never meant
be
to be hard.
exact. It can just be that mustard seed. And it seems sometimes heartbreaking to me witnessing the struggle when it is can be that simple.
And yet, is that not the polish for the pearl?
Mm, yeah.
Right? And so when we arrive there, we have such a greater appreciation. Krishnamurti said that so beautifully, that it's only when we awaken to ourselves, then we are responsible. And that doesn't mean that we're getting off the hook. It means
Mm,
that in our, and I like to put a hyphen in there, in our response abilities, we are able to call forward the solutions and the process and the journey in a way that it becomes the beautiful mosaic where every piece mattered and they were all needed to make the beauty.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh goodness, Miss Kira, this is this has been so delightful for the moment that we've had you. I'm my mind is full of really great anticipation
Mm.
from this dialogue you're having, from the time that we're at. I'm feeling right now great anticipation of more harmony and people walking out of that fear. Can you repeat again that when people are afraid?
And maybe bringing your hand to your heart and
Yeah.
really paying attention and breathing it because it's also a good self-inquiry to remember. I often do. When people are afraid, they will give away their power. When people are terrified, they will give away their soul.
Mm,
So the way through is to let go of the fear and the doubt and the hesitancy, which are the three seeds of self-sabotage that sustain a belief system that needs the dogma to support a victim, an abuser, and a rescuer. Because at the end
right.
of the day, we are each the teacher, the healer, the mentor, trust, love, creation, what you're already
Yes.
modeling. That's the matrix we're co-creating. That's the new era that has already birthed. Those are the alchemies we are weaving. So what do we want it to look like? Right? This is
Yes.
ours. We're weaving it. So hey, let's have some fun.
Yes. So briefly on that, it's, I've been trying to, it's so hard to articulate this aspect
Okay.
that when this matrix that we've pretty much have ever known, just roughly, right, is
Right.
crumbling away, and we as creators have great opportunity, potentiality to bring forth all new.
Right.
It is, it might be difficult for those to not create out of what has already been, to think of newness, to imagine newness, to perceive newness. So, what are some tricks of the trade, I guess we would say, to allow the newness to even present itself for us to create?
That is a powerful, beautiful question. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah,
No, it really is. And the first thing I want to share with everyone is as you were listening, as each of us was receiving that, hands on your third chakra. If you
yeah,
don't know where that is, go right to your third chakra because that's what it's all about. It's about finding the joy of letting go of that which you thought was true in the delight of that which is emerging. And
mm,
remember it's first, second, third chakra, right? So when the first chakra moves from having to be safe into the peace of knowing I am safe, then the
yes,
second chakra shifts from a sex-based creation into love-based creation, whereby the third chakra shifts from dominion, dominion, power, take over to
Mm-hmm.
the joy of the creation of the new.
Oh,
Peace, love, joy anchored within,
yes.
thereby sustaining. It's the way I describe it is I love that every day I'm learning something new. You
Mm,
want to reverse age? I'm younger now than I was. I'm in better shape. I mean, I'm really in better shape probably than I was at 30. And it's all because every day, and then this is why I put these two tattoos on, right?
yes. I
I
am
am,
emergent.
as are you.
Yes.
We are constantly emerging, and that's how we reverse age. That's how we sustain our body for 120 minimum, is that's how we remain vital. Do you want to become
Yes.
a relic or do you want to be relevant? Because in the Tricera Wadad, those are the choices. You will become a relic or you will remain relevant. And the only way you remain relevant is by understanding through compassionate wisdom that which is emerging.
Wow. Everybody take that in for a moment. Yes, that's a deep breath. That's lovely. That was
Yes, you are.
absolutely, that was great. Thank you. Thank you. That's, mm, mm.
I am breathing with you.
Yeah. Yes. Our sacred breath, right? Yes.
I love your
Oh,
symbol.
wow. The I can never point correctly,
Neither can
right?
I. I know. So
Um,
true.
my husband made that. So for all of those who might be new here and witnessing Miss Kira for the first time, and that is the Ave Sauce symbol. And that is that lovely breath that we can take again here at the end here. My husband made that out of copper. Um, yes. And so yes, we um he was a big fan of you and Shri as well. Uh he's also a Cancer like Shri was, and oh, those two. Those two, I'm sure if they got together. Oh my goodness.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Um Yes, beloveds, that is okay. Yeah. The symbol behind my head there, I put it there to
Thank you.
emphasize that, to and the students of Stars of the Morning Light, the patrons, they know you very well. They because I'm a teacher, but teachers have teachers, as you just stated, constantly learning, constantly evolving, constantly emerging.
Always.
Always,
Yeah.
always. And I
Yeah.
don't deny that, right? So I tend to also, I'm very loose with my concept of truth because it's always evolving,
Yes.
always changing. The truth is myself, the I am, the great I am that is me, right?
Yes.
Beyond that, we'll
Right.
all see what happens in this great creation.
How
You
much fun
know?
is that, right?
I know. I believe for me, that's how I can smile so much because I just sit back and witness everything going, wow, wow. The people right now, as I sit back and witness myself and others, we're creating without even being fully conscious of it. We are doing and experiencing newness, even if we'll be more aware in retrospect.
Yes.
And maybe this conversation can invite everyone to be more aware of it in the moment that we are creating.
In every way. In
Yes.
every way. In every way. Yes.
Yes. So before I let you go, Miss Kira, is there one last sentiment or something you would like to share with people?
Well, thank you. How kind of you to ask. And I'm so grateful to have been here with you during this moment. What a beautiful gift. And what I would always invite anyone to remember is that if you have found your way to this moment with the two of us here with you, you are not crazy. You are not alone. You are already living in an era that has woken up to you. And it's
Mm,
okay for you to keep saying yes to you. You know, as Archangel Zadkiel said to Shri and I so many years ago, you're going to say yes every day. And those yeses are going to become extraordinary. And in the words of the great mantra of self ascension, to remember that as you would release your breath into this world, wake up and simply smile, gaze into your heart and simply acknowledge, I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. And then
yes.
listen. Yeah, listen and have fun. So thank you for asking,
Yes.
Courtney.
Yes. And will you guide everyone through a Ave Sa breath, which is that symbol, folks, over
I
there?
would be I would be honored. And
Uh,
and you know, that is the universal heartbeat. And
yes.
when it was offered to the water, it gave back the tree of life, which was really quite
I
extraordinary.
remember that. And I oh my gosh. Beloveds, please go to the YouTube channel because a lot of those videos, I believe, are
All
still up.
there.
They're all
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
when this symbol, and it was with a company in Australia, I believe, that was
New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay,
Mhm.
that they gave that Ave Sauce symbol to the water, and the water responded back with this symbol of the tree of life. Beloveds, when that happened, it was as if in my life, Kira, that was the moment that I went, I'm laying it all down. I am ready. I am here. I am
Right?
ready. I am
Yeah.
open. Guide me. And
Right?
I just fully accepted I am here for her. And what however I can help humanity to help her, I'm ready. Oh, it was such an amazing time period
Yeah.
that we got to walk this awakening together through that process. It was lovely. Um,
Yeah. And that's
yes.
Ave Sa, right? And Ave Sa, you know, I bow to my teacher, Helena Blavatsky, and the one
Yes.
who brought all that and asked me to carry it here, and I was honored to accept with Shri. And so remember that it's Ave Sa, and the Ave is what we inhale, and it's like Ave Maria, right? It's that hail, it's that hello, it's that breath that you inhale that goes, oh, guess who's here, right? Ave,
Yes,
right?
Ave.
And then when we exhale, the sa is infinite presence, infinite energy. It's that Ave, hello to the depth of that which I am, as I bring it forward with all that I am.
Mm,
And so we're just going to do that together. And thank you for inviting
yes.
that. And
Yes.
so breathing in Ave through our nose, smile.
Mm,
Yeah,
that was lovely. Thank you.
as
So,
are you.
thank you. Beautiful stars. I hope you appreciated all that you were able to experience in this moment through all your senses. Um, Please, I invite you to read the material, visit Kira's website, watch her on the YouTube channel. I am Kira, as are you. And beloved Miss Kira, wow, Master Lady Kira, I am so humbly honored. Thank you for doing this show for us.
Courtney, thank you for what you're doing for the planet. Thank you for saying yes to you, for
Yes.
having so many find out that it's okay for them to say yes to them. That's that heart that keeps us all spinning. I am honored to be here with you anytime. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Good night, beautiful stars. Keep shining.